the feeding of the 5,000, and what happened afterward. The apostles gathered themselves together to Jesus, and they told him all things, whatever they had done, and whatever they had taught. And he said to them, "Come away into a deserted place and rest a while." For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. They went away in the boat to a deserted place in the region of Bethsaida by themselves. They saw them going, and many recognized him and ran there on foot from all the cities. They arrived before them and came together to him. Jesus came out and saw a great multitude. Now the Passover, the feast of the Jews, was at hand. Jesus therefore, lifting up his eyes and seeing that a great multitude was coming to him, said to Philip, "Where are we to buy bread that these may eat?" He said this to test him, for he himself knew what he would do. He had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things and healed their sick. When it was late in the day, his disciples came to him and said, "This place is deserted, and it's late in the day. Send them away that they may go into the surrounding country and villages and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat." But he answered them, "You give them something to eat." Philip answered him, "But 200 denarii worth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may receive a little." He said to them, "How many loaves do you have? Go and see." One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said to him, "There's this boy here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, but what are these among so many?" He commanded them that everyone should sit down in groups on the green grass. They sat down in ranks by hundreds and 50s. He took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and broke the loaves, and he gave to his disciples to set before them, and he divided the 2 fish among them all. They all ate and were filled. They took up 12 baskets full of broken pieces, and also of the fish. Those who ate the loaves were 5,000 men. When therefore the people saw the sign which Jesus did, they said, "This is truly the prophet who comes into the world." Jesus therefore, perceiving that they were about to come and take him by force to make him king, he immediately made his disciples get into the boat and go ahead to the other side, to Bethsaida, while he himself sent the multitude away. After he had taken leave of them, he went up to the mountain to pray. When evening had come, he was there alone. When evening came, his disciples went down to the sea. They entered into the boat and were going over the sea to Capernaum. It was now dark, and Jesus had not come to them. The sea was tossed by a great wind blowing. When therefore they had rowed about 25 or 30 stadia, the boat was now in the middle of the sea, distressed in the rowing by the waves, for the wind was contrary. In the 4th watch of the night Jesus came to them, walking on the sea, and he would have passed them by. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It's a ghost!" And they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke up to them, saying, "Cheer up, it is I, don't be afraid." Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the waters." He said, "Come." And Peter stepped down from the boat and walked on the waters to come to Jesus. When he saw that the wind was strong, he was afraid and began to sink. He cried out, saying, "Lord, save me!" Immediately Jesus stretched out his hand, took hold of him, and said to him, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" When they got up into the boat, the wind ceased. They were very amazed among themselves and marveled. Those who were in the boat came and worshipped him, saying, "You truly are the Son of God." When Jesus and the apostles had crossed over, they came to land at Gennesaret and moored to the shore. When they had come out of the boat, immediately the people recognized him and ran around that whole region and began to bring those who were sick on their mats to where they heard he was. Wherever he entered, into villages or into cities or into the country, they laid the sick in the marketplaces and begged him that they might just touch the fringe of his garment. And as many as touched him were made well.